This video will help you get started using the ABC database to find circulation data for newspapers and magazines in the UK and Ireland. ABC stands for Audit Bureau of Circulations. The web address is abc.org.uk. If you haven't used ABC before, you'll have to create an account. This is free for students. Click Login, Register, select Account Type, and Sign Up for student access. You'll need to use your university email to create an account. Once you are logged in, you can begin to explore the data. The ABC releases data primarily for the UK media industry to use when trading advertising. There are many parts to its website, but as students, you're most likely to want the Reports and Data Hub, as this is where the circulation data is, rather than the details about ABC's services. So to get there from the homepage, hover over ABC Data and click on Reports and Certificates. From here, you can access both the data hubs, which contain industry-level reports and data tools, and historical certificates for individual newspapers and magazines. Let's start with the data hubs. There are 4 main data hubs: Consumer Magazine, Business Magazine, National Newspaper, and Regional Publication. These are good for exploring industry-level data. Let's look at the Consumer Magazine data hub. Note that where ABC talks about an industry report, it means a snapshot of data that you can work with, rather than a written report to read. It's also worth noting that each of the data hubs looks a little different, but all of them allow you to filter and export information. So if we start with headline data, we have a very large table here with data from all the consumer magazines. We can work with this. If we click on a column, like paid single copies, then the records will descend depending on the values in that column. Or we can add filters at the top. I'll add women's lifestyle and fashion, and I'll also add women's home interests. We can specify the media owner, Hearst, and so produce helpful tables of information depending on what we want to find. There are options if you'd like to further tailor your table if you click Choose Data to Display. To export the table, there are export options at the top of the page here, or on the other data hubs, the export options appear at the right side of the table. And that's the basics of how the data hubs work. We can also view current and historical certificates for magazines and newspapers. There are a few ways of doing this. You could view certificates straight from the tables, like this one for good housekeeping. Some certificates contain more information than others. This one is quite detailed, with 7 pages. The first page gives an overview with the time period covered, the average circulation, contact details, and other key information. It can be handy to note which market sector the publication is categorized as, so that you can compare it in the data hub. Here, page 2 breaks down the information into UK and international figures and print and digital figures. Then other pages give further details, and here on page 6, it shows you how many issues circulated each month and the total for the year. If you are looking for circulation data for a specific newspaper or magazine, you can use the search box on the homepage. I'll look for regional publications in Oxford. I'll click through to the product page for Oxford Mail. Here it shows the average circulation per issue for the last period certified, in this case 6 months from January to June 2024. If I scroll down, I can see the historical data for this title. For the Oxford Mail, we can see back to 2004. Clicking on any of the view buttons, we can see the certificate for that time period. This regional publication certificate has less details on it than the national magazine certificate we saw earlier. It's good to be aware that some publications prefer to keep their circulation data private. For example, if we look at The Guardian, we're told to get in touch with the publisher for details. But even in these cases, we can usually find some historical data, in this case available for 2021. That completes this video guide. Please do get in touch if you have any problems. Thank you.